How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Nordforge. This week I'll be designing this bunker for my D&D character, Vex, a rogue. I made her a little bit bigger than 28mm, but this is not meant to be played. This is just for show. And I'll be starting off making these wooden planks for the floor and the walls. This will be obviously medieval times, so everything will be to that time period. And I started off just by using a wire brush to give the texture, and my hobby knife as well, just to add some scoring and make it look like actual wood. And this is just some cleanup so that everything is flush. And then I take a toothpick and add where you would put in nails, just to kind of give these floorboards a little more realistic look. And now this is some, I believe it's called foam core. And then I take the paper off. You can get this at Dollar General or Dollar Tree, whatever you have in your area. And I'm using my X-Acto knife to cut out the exact piece that I need. And to save me some time, I just grabbed this dowel and I started scoring this using a ruler, just to make sure it was perfectly straight. I did the same exact technique that I did for the floor. I just took my toothpick when I was done, same thing, tried to make it look exactly like the floor, because again, I want to make this all look not just authentic, but as cool as possible. And this is Eileen's glue. I use this stuff a lot, dries fast, and it's very durable. So far, so good. And now I'm taking my Saker airbrush gun, just kind of giving it a dark brown, and taking my time, no rush. Reason why also that I chose to not give it another side or close it all the way in, because you can't really see all the fine details. I kind of wanted it to be very open. So now I'm just dry brushing it, kind of sloppy and on purpose, kind of just to get it, again, that more authentic, thrown together look. And I figured this is underground, so naturally there would be some dirt coming in through the floorboards and probably mold at this point, depending on how old this bunker actually is and how far down deep it is. And just using Eileen's glue on the sides and in some of the crevices on the floorboards. I added some more Woodland Scenics fine coarse turf. And now this is a shelf that will hold the bed. You'll see later how it makes sense. And that is just a 5mm dowel used to not just hold it up, but have it actually make sense. This bed and a lot of the assets you'll see me paint here, I found on Thingiverse, and I'll put every single link in the description below. I don't like taking credit for other people's work, so I make sure I give them credit where credit's due. But I gave these sheets a dark green. I gave the pillow a kind of creamy, dirty white, because again, this is all underground. This is not meant to look like a Motel 6. And now we're going to make the ladders leading up to the hatch, which you'll see later. I'm using just some UV resin. Just take a toothpick and one by one make sure it's all put together. And after it was done, I gave it a nice dark wash to give it a nice weathered, used up look. And this will go up to the first shelf. And this is the second one, same technique. And this will go up to the hatch. And again, this is some super glue. This is another table that I found. It catered to my medieval look. And this is just some army paints iron, just to give it a more authentic look. And I did the same thing for the barrels you'll see here. And I said, why not for this little dagger as well? And then some true copper for these little, I believe they're called shivs. I don't know. You guys can correct me in the comment section. This is a plaque that I just lasered out with the rest of everything else and gave it that beveled look, almost like a picture frame has, just by sanding it. And I'm going to add some knives and daggers and whatever else that she might be using. Then I had another idea. Dynamite, because why not? She's a assassin. She's going to be using every tool at her advantage. So I cut these, I believe it's 2mm dowels into tiny little pieces. I used some brown thread to make it actually look like a dynamite bundle, or whatever it's technically called. And I decided to add a scroll. Just printed this out. Did the same thing, same thread. And it looked a little too new, so when I was done tying it, I added some wash to each end to give it an old weathered look. Once again, we can't have everything looking too nice. Just a dab will do you. And I drilled a hole. Don't worry, you won't see that later anyway. And it's time to glue down the bed and other objects, barrels and crates. Why put her bed up here? I don't know, maybe for a quick escape in the middle of the night. Maybe she's sleeping, she hears something, she has to get out. This part I didn't think too crazy of. I just kind of wanted it to have a kind of thrown together bunker look. Wasn't really quite sure what I was going for, but it ended up working out. And time to glue down the plaque right to the wall, right above where the table will be. And this is the lantern. You might have seen me use this in another video. Last time I did not show how it actually works. This time you'll actually see how it's done. Simply put the wires through. Once that's done, you have to be quick with the UV resin. After you put the top on, blast it with the UV light. Doesn't have to look perfect, as long as it looks halfway decent. Just do your best. Once that UV resin's kind of where you want it, give it a blast. And that was exactly what I was looking for. So when that was done, the wires go through the hole and then through the back of the bunker, which you won't see. And then we glue the lantern down just to fasten that as well. And then we glue the table down so that doesn't obviously glue either. Kind of looks like a picnic table, but I figure it's something you probably could build underground. And this is the hatch. This is literally made out of nothing but popsicle sticks, except for the bottom piece. It was actually a piece that I lasered out along with the hatch that you see above it. I did my best to kind of make it look like, again, nothing too professional. I even decided to break a piece on purpose and then glue it on there to kind of give it a, again, thrown together type look. This is part of an old keychain that I put to use. Then after flocking the top, it was time to glue down the hatch, which I, as you can see, have stained. And to keep it even, because it's being clamped down, I put a tube of paint below. And this is a log that I found. I was supposed to use this on a totally different project a few months back. Never did. It was already painted, so why not use it? So after gluing that down, I found an epoxy rock that I had made from a mold that I created. Then they added some scattered terrain from Woodland Scenics and some tufts as well, just to give it a kind of woodsy look. Then this wanted poster I drew and then made the rest of it on Photoshop. I think I'll start recording myself drawing. I haven't thought about it. This could be a whole nother part of my channel. You guys let me know if you'd like to see that in the comment section. But anyway, I printed this out to size. I figure if you're on the run, why not have your own wanted poster in your own bunker? And I glued it, but I also wanted to make it look like she nailed it in. And just to add a little more cozy, more homey feel, I figured she'd want to hang up her cloak somewhere, so I made a kind of clunky looking hanger. Why not add a little mat? If you're going to be living down here, you probably want to wipe your shoes too. But to give it a weathered down look and to get rid of that white you see, I gave that a heavy stain as well. And just for the heck of it, we're going to take some black wash and kind of go through random crevices in the floorboards just to give it that old beat weathered look. Again, this is underground, so naturally this actually would happen. And now to Vex herself, which I created with Hero Forge, and along with her cat, I printed in clear resin. You'll see why. After I primed her, the only thing you see that's not painted is her blade. I wanted that to be clear, like almost like some magical steel that she found somewhere and forged it herself. I also saved you some of the pain of watching me horrifically paint, but basically kind of just winged it. Used a lot of greens. And she's, as you can see, half elf, half human. And I figure, why not make her a redhead? Then after painting her cat, that was glued down along with the dynamite and some potion bottles, because she's an assassin, she'd probably have some poisons. And she's also a thief, so some random gold piles, which are also from Hero Forge. And this chair that also was meant for a different project, I quickly painted and dry brushed and glued that down as well, and then glued down Vex where I thought she would look the best. And this is the battery pack. Nothing fancy behind here because again, you really won't see it. A little clunky looking, but it works. And now for the top, so some Gorilla Wood glue and my clamps, because of course we're not high enough. So I put a heavy tub of Weld-On, which is a fluid that bonds together plexiglass, which has nothing to do with this project at all, but I thought I'd mention it. And now for the final shot, it came out much better than I actually thought it would. I'm very proud of this one, actually. Enjoy these final shots, and have a great week, everybody.